Hi, and welcome back to the Bad Brain Podcast, a space where healing, honesty, and habits collide. I'm your host, Imani, or Yanni, or whatever you want to call me. And this episode is coming straight from my heart because this morning I had major clarity. So let me walk you through it. Let me walk you through it. So I woke up and did the thing I told myself I would not do. I grabbed my phone and I opened Pinterest. I kind of talked about this in my last episode, but I did it again. I need some restraint. I told myself it was fine because I needed to call my orthodontist. Let's be honest. I stayed on Pinterest longer than I was even on the phone with my orthodontist. And I don't know, Pinterest just feels different than other social medias. But it's still social media. And as I was scrolling, I started to feel like that split, you know? You know the one like I know I can do this. This is going to be my life soon. And then the other part, the one that whispers, why hasn't this happened yet? Why isn't this my life yet? And that inner critic came knocking really fast. But here's where the shift happened. And I want to sit with this part because it's kind of where the clarity came from this morning. Instead of spiraling, I caught myself and I reminded myself that healing isn't linear. I'm going to say that a lot in this podcast because I am in my healing journey and I know that healing isn't linear. And sometimes self-doubt does pop up even when you're doing the work. So I remind myself of what's real. I am capable. I'm putting in the work and the life I want is possible because I'm creating it. And I want to be honest here. I'm kind of being a little vulnerable. Oh, a lot vulnerable. Right now, I'm not where I want to be. I really am not where I want to be in my life. And I had to reschedule my orthodontist appointment because I didn't have the money to pay for my braces to be retightened. And I also didn't have the money to get an Uber to get there to get my braces retightened. And that felt in the moment that felt so embarrassing, but also it felt real and it felt raw and it felt human. And I know that this won't always be my reality. I know that. And one day I will be able to pay my bill easily and I will pull up to that appointment in my own car. And that day is coming. I know it is. I feel it. I know it because I've already started moving. I recorded this podcast episode. I recorded my last podcast episode. I've been consistent on YouTube and I made a dope ass cover for my podcast. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think of it. And I chose the name Bad Brain Podcast because one, it's inspired by my favorite Samara Sign song. And I just resonated with her song. I resonated with that song so much. If you go and listen to the lyrics, she basically said, let me pull it up for a second. What she says in the lyrics. I don't want to be too detrimental, thinking about the thoughts that can't get out. She said, too much thinking, too much stressing, too much people pleasing efforts, too much say it with a smile. I lace up my shoes with intention, making constant decisions to stand up on business. When she was talking about the people pleasing stuff, it resonated with me. So shout out to her. And because of that track, it really lit a fire under me. It helped me with my own flaws and helped me embrace the mess and see the magic in my madness, you know? So this morning reminded me that every slump has a lesson buried in it. And this time, the lesson that came from this slump in a form of a memory is something that my cousin's wife said to me a few years ago. She told me, don't rely on anyone and always have your own. And back then, that advice, it annoyed the shit out of me. I can't lie. It annoyed me. And I was like, what is she even talking about? I'm not relying on anyone. But 5 years later, it felt cold. Well, back then it felt cold, but 5 years later, it makes perfect sense. It's not about isolating myself. It's about becoming the version of myself who is self-sufficient, is stable, is steady enough to support her son and her dreams and herself. That wave of clarity hit me hard. Like it hit me so hard. It hit me like, Sarkeisha, no. Sharkeisha, not Starkeisha. But it felt deep. I felt it deep in my chest. Like, ugh, never again. I literally wrote that in my morning pages. I wrote never again in big bold letters. Never again will I put myself or my son in a situation where we are this vulnerable. And like that, I felt it again. I felt New York calling me. I've been wanting to live in New York since I was a pubescent teen. New York has always been the place I wanted to be. And after I had that clarity, that wash of realization come over me, I felt New York calling me. I felt that a few times in my life. That's why I know where I'm supposed to be. And I know I've said it before, but this time was different. It wasn't a wish, it was a promise from the universe or God or whoever. And I'm coming. I'm coming for my dreams. I'm coming for New York. I am just on my way to becoming the woman that I know I can be. So please be ready. Please grow with me, because I know a lot of people aren't where they want to be in life, and that's okay. As long as you take that experience and you find a lesson in it, you'll be fine. So, thank you for sharing space with me today. If you're in your own season of clarity or an in between, just know you're not behind. You're becoming. And also, bad brain, big heart, you're exactly where you need to be. Welcome to the family. I should be a rapper. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you have an amazing day, seriously. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.